So our mission in this deep dive is really to unpack what makes PPC tick, what makes them so incredibly different. From things like retaining legal ownership of every single parrot they place, to prevent what they call rehoming roulette.
Which is a huge problem with parrots, given how long they live.
Exactly, all the way to providing ongoing coaching and support to the guardians for the parrot's entire life. And we'll also dig into this critical challenge they're facing right now, and why this system, which has been described as the only parrot care model of its kind in Canada, needs urgent support to avoid some major service cuts.
That's a great place to start. And, what our sources highlighted about how this whole support system plays out, well, it's perfectly captured in Freddy's story. So back in 2015, this couple, Heather and Steph, they approached PPC. They had limited experience, but, a really strong desire to adopt. And they quickly found out PPC's process was incredibly thorough. They were screened with questionnaires, phone calls, even a home visit, which included suggestions for safety adjustments in their house. The entire family was assessed, for their readiness, not just their initial excitement.
That sounds like a significant hurdle, maybe, for some people. How did PPC's unique focus on training the family, like you said, not just the bird, how did that make the difference once Freddy came along? Because she was apparently a grumpy Congo African gray, initially silent and a bit standoffish.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all about that upfront investment, really. Freddy actually chose them, which is interesting in itself. And that's when the real work began. Judy, who's PPC's executive director, she personally guided them through weeks of hands-on training.
Weeks. Wow.
Weeks, yeah. We're talking about understanding parrot behavior, positive reinforcement techniques, parrot psychology, and crucially, it was about accepting a bird as they are, not, as we wish them to be. It was almost 3 months of bonding, learning, prepping, before Freddy even went home with them.
Okay, so nearly 3 months of intense prep. And once she was home, Freddy absolutely flourished, didn't she? The sources say even though she couldn't fly, she sang, she mimicked the dogs, the oven.
Really?
Yeah, even household visitors. She apparently became the matriarch of the family, completely cherished. But then came a crisis. Freddy shattered her leg after trying to fly.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and this led to just astronomical vet bills, multiple visits, and of course, immense emotional stress for the family.
Right. And this is exactly where PPC's enduring commitment really shone through. Our sources confirm they just stepped in, no hesitation. They helped pay thousands in vet bills. They advocated directly with the veterinary clinic for the family. They even offered to bring Freddy back temporarily to the aviary for nursing care if the family needed that support.
Wow.
Their commitment, as Heather and Steph noted, it didn't end at adoption. It never does with PPC.
And what's truly profound, I think, is what happened next. When Freddy tragically passed away on the operating table.
Which sadly can happen with parrots. Their respiratory systems are so sensitive.
Right. Even then, PPC continued their support. They provided emotional, logistical help. They even offered to have Freddy buried at the aviary in their memorial gardens. The PPC staff, our sources say, truly grieved alongside the family. This immediate support, financial, emotional, it just highlights one of PPC's most profound differences, doesn't it? Their commitment isn't just like a feeling. It's backed by that unique legal ownership model. It acts as this genuine safety net. It really redefines what a permanent home means.
Exactly. This personal story, Freddy's story, it powerfully illustrates what PPC means when they say they are not a traditional rescue. Their entire model is designed to protect parrots for life, not just find them a placement and, hope for the best. And this is precisely why Heather and Steph, the family, still donate. They understand PPC isn't looking for just a home for now. They prepare families to give these birds an enduring home with a safety net that, well, it just doesn't vanish.
That brings us to another really fascinating aspect you mentioned. PPC actually retains legal ownership of every placed parrot. That's certainly a strong preventative measure against that rehoming roulette, right? Where birds, especially these incredibly long-lived parrots, get passed around.
Yeah, causing immense stress and behavioral problems.
Definitely. Do your sources indicate any challenges that come up from PPC keeping legal ownership? Maybe, how does it feel for the guardian? Do they feel like they fully own their pet? How does PPC navigate that?
That's a really good question. And the sources emphasize this isn't about control. It's about ensuring that lifelong safety net and accountability. Remember, beyond the intense screening and training up front, guardians get ongoing coaching, behavior support, even emergency access if needed. Plus, PPC offers return and retirement pathways for all parrots placed through them, no matter how long ago.
Okay, so it's part of a whole package.
Exactly. And what's also unique here and really critical for their sustainability is their use of this sophisticated planning tool called actuarial forecasting.
Actuarial, like insurance companies use.
Precisely. Think of it like an insurance company predicting future claims, but for parrots.
Okay, that's a remarkably sophisticated approach for an animal rescue. How does that kind of foresight actually translate into better outcomes for the birds and, well, a more sustainable model overall?
Well, it fundamentally changes how they operate. By using data, actual data, they can predict things like how many birds might need to come back into their care years down the line. They can forecast the long-term cost of care for the current flock and the future flock, even future guardian support needs.
Huh. So they're planning decades ahead, potentially.
Decades ahead, yes. This proactive approach lets them secure funding and build resources for the long haul, not just scrambling year to year like many rescues have to. It's about building a robust, future-proof organization.
So all these elements we've talked about, the intensive training, the ongoing support, that unique ownership model, the proactive financial planning, they're all part of PPC's larger, really ambitious vision. Our sources reveal they're building what they call replicable infrastructure, meaning they're not just trying to be a single rescue, they're creating a sustainable system, one designed to be a blueprint, potentially, for lasting change elsewhere.
Yeah, the sources say they explicitly set out to reform a broken system in animal welfare and to prove that compassion can scale.
Proof that compassion can scale. I like that.
Yes, and it's precisely this robust, forward-thinking system that's now facing a really critical challenge. PPC made a difficult but ethical decision recently. They permanently shut down their previously untested boarding program.
Why did they do that?
Because there were confirmed cases of beak and feather disease, or PBFD, which is highly contagious and often fatal for parrots reported in the region. So, shutting down boarding protected their own large flock and, of course, the parrots entrusted to them by families who used the boarding service. A tough call, but the right one for the birds' safety.
Okay, ethical decision, absolutely. But it came at a steep cost financially.
Steep cost. They lost $35,000 in annual revenue.
Oh.
Overnight.
Oh.
Yeah, and now they're running a substantial operational deficit because of it. The urgent call we found at the sources is that they must raise $20,000 by August 1st, 2025.
August 1st. That's soon. And if they don't?
If they don't, they're looking at service cuts, staff furloughs, suspending key programs, all things that would directly impact the birds and the families they serve.
Okay, so what are they doing about it? Are they just waiting?
No, not at all. They've already taken significant steps. Cut all non-essential spending. They're expanding other revenue streams like training tours, their store, school programs. They've applied for multiple grants, even presented a funding proposal to their local MPP.
Right. Standard emergency measures.
But these things take time, grants, government funding. It doesn't happen overnight. And as they emphasize, the birds cannot wait. This isn't presented, it's important to note, as like a failing rescue grasping at straws. It's framed as a fully functional system, one designed for longevity, that just needs immediate community support to bridge this unexpected significant gap.
Right. So let's bring this all together. What does this mean for us thinking about this? We've journeyed through Freddy's story, which is quite moving. We've seen how PPC supported her family through, well, immense joy, but also profound grief, helping with thousands in vet bills, offering burial space. We've understood how this organization is really designed as an enduring support system, one that crucially doesn't vanish after placement.
This situation, while difficult, doesn't mean the system failed. It means a robust system needs help weathering a storm.
It certainly makes you consider what forever truly means when we talk about responsibility and care for animals, doesn't it? And maybe, how we can all look for and perhaps support systems that are actually designed to create lasting, impactful change, not just temporary fixes. Definitely something to mull over until our next deep dive.